Auto.
I'm going straight to the hospital.
Yeah, they don't get a chance.
It's just stuff in my brain.
Thank you all for inviting us over here today, Silicon Valley Interreligious Council. What a beautiful gathering of all the different faiths that are represented within our community. Santa Clara County is made up of such a beautiful, vast, diverse bunch of folks. And I'm seeing so many of you here today. Thinking about the First Nations peoples. Myself, I come from the Pueblo and Mescalero Apache from New Mexico, and from my father's side, we're from the Pame people from northeastern Mexico. My wife, Corina, here stems from the region of Zacatecas, Mexico, from the Huirarica people.
I am the board chair of Silicon Valley Interreligious Council, and I want to thank you for coming. Thank you for being careful, showing your care for the people who have passed away in our, county and city without a house, living on the street. I'm not welcoming you because this is not an event to welcome. We are here to memorialize those who have lost their lives, anywhere from the babies to the elders of my age. And so we have to remember why they died, what happened to them, and what can we do as a community.
What is homelessness? Homelessness is to be in survival mode every day. It's to be unsafe and vulnerable. It's to be cold in winter, like we've been having the last couple of weeks, and also hot in summer. It's not having a toilet or laundry, no showers. It's minimal access to health care, dental care, prescription medications, and follow-ups for chronic conditions. It's to be scorned and hated by some in our community, and to experience that on a regular basis. It's to live in fear of sweeps. It's to live in fear of police harassment, and it's death. The average life expectancy for people who are unhoused is significantly lower than the rest of the population. So what we're here for is to not only envision a different world, but to enact a different world. We are clergy, we are elected officials, we are advocates, we are people who care. And it's my hope, and I think our shared hope, that together we will put in motion a more compassionate world where people aren't dying on the streets, and that this service becomes unnecessary. So thank you.
One is, I think it's very appropriate that we're being brought together by an interreligious council. I think one of the fundamental or universal insights and truths that we get from our world religions is the idea that all life is sacred and that we are interconnected with one another, and that what happens to the least of us, the most marginalized, the most vulnerable, concerns all of us, affects all of us, and is something that we should all be focused on and care about. And what concerns me most, perhaps, in our community is that we've become desensitized to the reality on our streets. We shouldn't be gathering here. We should not have really 250 people in the wealthiest place on earth dying on our streets, and yet somehow it's become a norm. It's become implicitly accepted by so many.
And I wanted to just say a very sincere and deep thank you to SiVIC. One of the reasons this is such an important event, truly, is that you are bringing your moral authority to the table to say, no more, not on our watch. And as a reminder that each of the people that are represented by these tombstones were people. They were sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, community leaders, neighborhood activists, and people, by the way, who don't live more than a few miles from where they lived when they were housed. So, why is today so important? It re-engages us with a sense of incredible urgency, with a sense of leadership from our moral leaders with an obligation to educate the community so that when we do look for housing to be put in an area, a shelter to be put in an area, that the community is saying, yes, in my backyard, so we don't see people dying in our streets.
In the wealthiest place, in the wealthiest state, in the wealthiest nation, a 3-year-old should not be dying on the street. No one should. And we have to hold ourselves accountable and responsible for the fact this is happening. And it boils down really to one word, because look, there's addiction and poverty and mental health issues in every corner of this country. But yet, we're seeing people living and dying on the streets here in a way that just should not happen. I think it just boils down to greed. There's far too much greed in our society, and there's certainly far too much greed here in Silicon Valley.
There's always gonna be another mountain. Always gonna wanna make it rain. Always gonna be an uphill battle.
Knowing that these are just words, in the end it's on each of us to change this, to make the difference happen through our action. I invite those that are able to please rise. El malei rachamim shochem b'mromim, hamtzei menochat nochatacha kanfei ashchina, b'ma'alot kedoshim utorim, kezohar harakir mazirim, lenishmot kol ele shechizcharu, hayom livracha, shalchu leolamam, v'gan eden tihyeh menuchatam. O God, exalted and full of compassion, grant perfect peace in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure, to the souls of all those whom we remember today, who have gone to their eternal home. Welcome them home, please, with open arms. Show to them the love and acceptance denied to them in life, knowing that you have given us the resources. Help us to create a just society in which everyone has a place to call home. In your embrace of their souls, please show to them their meaning, their lives held for you. Be a mirror, God, in which they may see your image in their eternal selves.
Guru Arjan Dev Ji, the fifth Nanak, says, I see no strangers, I see no enemy. Wherever I look, God is all I see. So we need to look at all those who have passed away in this year, that they all have the light of God. As I see these tombs, as you read the names in them, they're from all communities. Latino, Vietnamese, I see an Indian name there also. All communities are affected by this housing issue that we have. So let's all work together, all communities work together to solve this issue.
I see no stranger, I see no enemy, I see no stranger, I see no enemy. Wherever I look, God is all I see. Wherever I look, God is all I see. I see no stranger, I see no enemy. I don't think of us and them. No one do I hate or condemn. I see God.
Why am I living like a stranger in this strange, strange land?